When you first move from the United States to Australia, it's not the big landmarks that shock you, it's the small everyday rhythms that quietly let you know you're far from home. The first clue hits as soon as you start socializing. In the US, if a dinner invite says 6 p.m., most people will arrive a few minutes early or exactly on time. Turning up late might feel rude or disrespectful. In Australia, it's almost the opposite. If you show up at 6 o'clock sharp, you might catch your host still prepping food or setting the table. Most Aussies stroll in 10 or even 15 minutes late, smiling and relaxed, as if time is flexible. They aren't being rude, it's just a cultural norm. Social gatherings feel less rushed and more about enjoying the moment. Even business meetings can start with a few minutes of friendly small talk before getting serious, something that can feel unusual to Americans used to jumping straight to the point. Another quiet but powerful signal is how Australians move and interact in public spaces. People don't seem to be in as much of a hurry. Trains and buses run on schedule, but the atmosphere is intense. No one is glaring at you if you're refiguring out the ticket machine or standing on the wrong side for a second. It's as if the whole pace of life has shifted one gear slower enough to notice and breathe. Then there's the work culture. Americans are used to hustling long hours, late-night emails, and vacation days that often go unused. Australia flips that mindset on its head. Here, work-life balance isn't just an idea, it's built into the culture. Many jobs come with 4 weeks of paid annual leave, and people actually take them. Long weekends are common, and it's not strange to see offices close early on a Friday. Texting a coworker about work after hours is considered invasive unless it's truly urgent. Even bosses encourage disconnecting and recharging, which can be a refreshing but surprising change for Americans used to always being on call. Shopping is another subtle shift. In the US, speed is everything, bagging groceries fast, checkout lines moving quickly, and cashiers making small talk while scanning. In Australia, shoppers usually bring their own reusable bags, and if you forgot, you'll pay extra for a paper or thicker plastic one. It's part of the country's environmental push and waste reduction. Supermarkets don't feel like a race. Cashiers take their time and pack carefully. Other shoppers aren't impatient, there's a quiet respect for personal space and pace. Even sales culture is softer. Store workers are helpful but not pushy, which feels refreshing compared to the sometimes aggressive upselling in American stores. Money etiquette and tipping can be one of the biggest surprises. In the US, tipping is second nature, 15% to 20% for restaurant servers, baristas, and even taxi drivers. In Australia, there's no tipping culture built into daily life because wages are higher and service workers earn a fair income. You might leave 5% to 10% if the service was great, but no one expects it. At first, this feels odd to Americans who instinctively reach for extra cash, but soon it's freeing not to calculate tips at every meal. Dining habits also feel different. In the US, drinks are often refilled automatically, and glasses are packed with ice. In Australia, you'll usually be served room temperature or lightly chilled water, and you'll refill it yourself from a shared station. Servers won't hover, they give space, which can feel distant to Americans but is actually respectful. Splitting the bill is common and casual, everyone just pays for their own food without awkward math or debates. The pace of eating is also more relaxed. Meals aren't rushed to turn tables. Instead, you can linger and chat for hours without feeling pressured to leave. Driving in Australia is a whole new experience if you're from the US. The first thing you'll notice is that traffic flows on the left, which is expected, but it's the attitude on the road that stands out. People drive calmly. Honking is rare and usually just a friendly nudge, not an angry blast. At busy intersections, drivers often pause and wave others through. There's an unspoken agreement to keep things smooth rather than competitive. Pedestrian crossings can also catch you off guard. Cars actually stop, and not just when they have to. As an American, you're taught to make eye contact and step carefully. Here, cars slow down and let you go with a small wave. Still, it takes time to rewire your instincts. Looking the wrong way before crossing can be dangerous until it becomes second nature. Then there's the social side of life. Americans are used to hosts providing everything when they invite you over: drinks, snacks, maybe even a whole meal. In Australia, BYO is a deeply ingrained habit. It stands for bring your own, and it's not just about drinks. If someone invites you to a barbecue, it's normal to bring your own meat, drinks, or even a salad. Far from being rude, it's a sign of casual equality. Everyone contributes, everyone's welcome. Barbecues themselves aren't the polished, themed events you might expect in the US. They're simple, friendly gatherings with sausages, fresh bread, and plenty of laughs. You might find yourself sitting under a tree, barefoot, chatting with strangers who quickly become friends. Public trust shows up everywhere. People leave bags on cafe chairs while ordering inside. On beaches, surfboards and towels are left alone while their owners swim. In some neighborhoods, there are small give and take boxes where you can leave a book and take another. No one steals the whole stack. It's a low-key but powerful message. Life here runs on trust more than fear. That realization slowly chips away at the American instinct to stay guarded and self-protective. Coffee culture in Australia is unlike anywhere else, and it quietly shapes daily life. In America, grabbing a coffee is about convenience and speed drive-thrus, paper cups, and quick caffeine hits. In Australia, it's an intentional ritual. Almost every corner has an independent cafe with skilled baristas who treat coffee like craft. Drinks like flat white, long black, piccolo, and short mac become part of your new vocabulary. Ordering a drip coffee will earn you puzzled looks. Here, it's espresso first, and quality always comes before size. People don't rush out the door with giant cups. They sit, sip, and talk, or at least pause and enjoy. For many Americans, this slower, better coffee experience is a shock that quickly turns into love. Greetings are another small but fascinating culture shift. In the US, "Hey, how are you?" is often just filler, said without expecting an answer. In Australia, the go-to is "How why going?" or the classic "G'day." At first it's confusing. Are they asking where I'm going? How I'm traveling? But it's just a casual hello, a way to acknowledge someone without formality. You'll hear it from shopkeepers, bus drivers, or someone passing by on a morning walk. And there's an easy, warm quality to it. No big smile required, just natural friendliness. Even strangers feel approachable. Put together, these small habits, from how you order a morning coffee to how strangers greet you, change your rhythm. They slow you down and make life feel more human and connected. For an American used to fast everything and surface-level interactions, it's quietly transformative. If discovering the small things that make Australia feel so different and so welcoming opened your eyes, imagine what else the world can teach us. I make videos about culture shocks, kindness, and life abroad so you can see how people really live across the globe. Subscribe to Global Encounters and join me as we uncover more surprising, human stories from every corner of the planet.